It's been over 2 years since the very first time I did stand-up comedy, and I got convinced to participate in this comedy competition called Atlanta Funniest, organized by the Helium Comedy Club, which is the same comedy club that organizes Philly's Funniest, which is the same comedy competition Shane Gillis won in 2016.
Hey, how are you guys? You guys all right? All right.
And I was looking back at the footage of my set, and man, I fucking sucked. But what's very interesting is that I hadn't been that nervous since the very first time I did stand-up.
How about a round of applause for your next comic? Y'all clap it up. Everyone in the back, make a lot of noise for Christian Gomez.
Hey, what's up, what's up? So, yeah, my name is Christian. I'm 24 years old. Actually, I'm an immigrant. I came to this country around 3 years ago. And I have to be honest with you. Honestly, it hasn't been as exciting as I thought it will be, you know? I thought one of my first interactions was gonna be the classic, go back to your country. But so far, nobody has ever told me that, and I feel truly disappointed. Yeah, you guys are not keeping up with the expectations. But in case you guys are wondering where I'm from, I know I look like I'm from India, but I'm not. I'm actually from El Salvador. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, I'll give you a good hint. MS-13, you got it? Yeah, I grew up in that country. And honestly, I grew up in one of the most dangerous neighborhoods in the whole country. This might take you by surprise, but yes, it was controlled by the MS-13. Now, to be honest with you, when I was a kid, I had the dream of being a gang member. I wanted to be the best gang member the whole country had ever seen. But my parents didn't support me in my dream, so I gave up. Now, if any of you is asking, oh my God, why would he want to be a gang member? I'll be honest with you. When I was a kid, I was totally unaware that all the killing was related to gangs. But I thought they were fucking cool. Yeah, honestly, they don't go to school. They do a bunch of drugs. They got a lot of face tattoos. And they had all the bitches. So I thought, who wouldn't want to be a gang member? But no, honestly, I'm glad that I'm here in the States because I can make those jokes without the fear of being killed or thrown in jail. Yeah. I was talking to one of my friends the other day. He was telling me that one of his sexual fantasies is to have sex with an 80-year-old woman. Now, I have nothing against 80-year-old women. I'm pretty sure they are very sexually active. But I had to wonder why, right? And his explanation was pretty simple. Oh, because they must have a lot of experience. Seemed like a fair explanation to me, right? 80 years old, probably 60 years fucking. That's a lot of experience. But then I realized, my friend, it doesn't matter how much experience she got. At that age, she doesn't have the movements anymore. All the girls I've ever dated, they have been older than me, you know? 3, 4, 5 years older. And at the time, I used to think, you know, they probably like me because of how mature I am. But then I realized it was because of how easy to manipulate I was. Now, really quick before my time is over. I learned how to do comedy while having sex. I'm fucking terrible at sex. So much that I had to learn how to throw jokes to keep it entertaining. I might not make you come, but I'll definitely make you laugh. The problem is, after my first open mic, I realized I suck at comedy too. The good thing is, at least I can get better at it, you know? Unlike sex, I can do comedy more often. That was my time. Thank you, everybody.
Yo, Christian Gomez.
Which you can tell because I sat on the stool the whole set and crossed my arms like a bitch. This time I did a better job managing my nerves, even though it didn't work for anything because I didn't move to the next round. Not only that, but out of nowhere, it started raining like a bitch. We had almost no crowd. I think there was only like 15 people on the crowd for a room that fits around 250 people. So our options were already very limited, you know. And I think there would have been a better result for me if I would have invited more people to come support me. But I guess I kind of wanted to validate myself that I could move to the next round, not because I had people supporting me, but also because I was good enough. And just like that, it was time to perform.
Keeping the competition rolling, guys. Your next comic on the stage. Make some noise. It's Christian Gomez, everybody. Make some noise for Christian.
No, I'm kidding, guys. I'm about to drop the mic. I like Alpharetta, you know. I like Alpharetta a lot. It feels very corporate to me, if I'm being honest. And it reminds me of the time that I used to work in corporate. And for an immigrant, that's like a dream, you know? You work from home, salary position, you have full insurance, right? But unfortunately, it wasn't exciting enough to me. It was too boring, you know? It was way too boring. I would struggle to focus at home, you know? One moment I'll be working really, really hard, and then the next moment I'll be just jacking off really, really hard. I do have to admit, jacking off on the clock, you know, getting paid to jack off, that's like the closest thing I ever been to the American dream. I think one of the most difficult things that I had to deal with when I came to the States was this job, because it was the very first thing that I got, right? And I was still learning English at the time. And the difficult thing about learning English, coming from Spanish, is that there are words that are way too similar, but they mean completely different things. You know, I'll give you an example. This coworker and I, we were talking, laughing. She and I, we were having fun right in the office. Another coworker came into the room and he asked us, "Why are you guys laughing so much about?" And you gotta understand, in Spanish, to say annoyed to somebody or bothered to somebody, we say molestar. So the very first thing that came out of my mouth was, "Oh, nothing, I'm just molesting her." I went from assistant manager to a sex offender. The next day I had a meeting with HR, you know. Oh, so cute. The next day I had a meeting with HR, you know. I really thought they were gonna fire me, and they did fire me. Yeah. They said the CEO doesn't like competition, you know. Crazy stuff, crazy stuff. I remember this one time, I was still at this job, right? And we were having a meeting, you know. It was about this new account that we had just got, you know. And we were talking. They were asking about, you know, we will refer as the sales managers as point of sale, you know. So we're in the office. And they're like, "So who's gonna be the POS? Who's gonna be the POS?" And I'm like, "Yes, who's that piece of shit?" Awful stuff to happen, yeah. Now I'm unemployed. That's why am I doing this? I'll tell you something though. As a Hispanic, as an immigrant, I really don't like leaning into the stereotypes, you know. I got papers, you know, I am fully legal, and I don't like working in construction. But fuck, I'm good at it. I'm way too good even for my own sake, you know. This one time I got this job, right? And, you know, I go check out the place, check the commute, see the people that I'm gonna be working with, and the site isn't finished yet, right? So I'm checking it out, and I'm about to offer some help, So I just smoked a cigarette, had a Monster Energy drink, and I finished the whole site just by myself. All right, that was fun, guys. That's the end for me. Give it up for the host, please.
So my last joke fucking bombed, and I had to run off stage because I was already running out of time. And obviously I didn't move to the next round, which is okay, I don't feel like this competition is a make it or break it when it comes to my comedy endeavors. This is obviously not the end for me. The next step is keep writing, keep doing open mics, and keep working on this YouTube channel, which I'm still trying to figure out what the fuck I'm trying to do here. But if one thing I've learned is that there's no hurry, There's no hurry. I've been feeling that I want things now, but that's not how shit works, So I just gotta take my time and enjoy each day at a time. In the meantime, just join me to finish this cigar.